Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to final round back nine coverage of the MPO lead card here at the 2024 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell. Championship Sunday.
Yeah, back nine. Prez playing well.
Yes, Prez is playing well, but he has some certified dragons breathing fire down his neck right now with Ricky Wysocki on chase card, getting a ton of birdies and just a few bogeys, but he's just a couple shots back right now of the lead that Andrew Presnell has put forth. 2 under in the front nine is exactly what he needs to do in these tricky, windy conditions on this incredible, difficult course.
Yeah, you brought up a good point on the front nine that Ricky had a couple extra holes in front of him so Prez could catch up and figure out those scores, but I think that that's almost a detriment at this course. The more holes you have when you get on this back nine, the more trouble you have. So if Ricky can get through there, Calvin can get through there with some good scores, they can put a lot of pressure on our lead card.
Well, so far we haven't really seen him feel like he's been, I don't know, he hasn't played with too much nerve, except for that one putt that he had on hole 5 when he threw his putter over the basket into the gushing river and lost his putter. Fortunately, his caddy kicked into action and got him a backup putter from his car as fast as he possibly could. Back to the action, Niklas Anttila going with a backhand roller, and that is in position. It's not as long as he'd like, but with the soft ground, that's about as much ground play as you really expect to get. Ezra had a beautiful birdie here in the third round. And if this stays clean and gets edge, it does not. That was heading into a decent spot before it hit the tree. Presnell hitting the tree as well, and now he's in the scramble position trying to save the par.
I feel like this is a little low.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness.
But Prez hit the good side of that tree. If he hits the other side, it's very possible he goes out of bounds.
Very important shot here on the incredibly difficult. Oh, my gosh. What a throw.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that is an incredible escape shot. Well, not really escape, but just a lot of things can happen with that approach.
Fairway, fairway. If you're not in a perfect... Look at this one, too, with a little cut roll.
Whoa.
Very good.
Good shot.
But this one almost plays as a par 5 if you don't get a great tee shot. There's no way to get to the hole, so you're just playing position.
Uh-oh.
Early left is a scary place to be on this hole. Almost takes par out of the equation.
Uh-oh. Left side is a kiss of death. Early left and deep right. Just if you're not on the fairway, it's not good. But this corner doesn't allow for really any creativity. And that's one of the...
That was awesome.
That was a good shot, but to 70 feet. It's one of the knacks against the course. Is that, and also one of the things that people like so much about this place. If you're off a little bit, you don't par. You just take bogey. And it's incredibly tough when you have fairway and then the next rough is deep rough. There's no intermediate rough on this course. You go straight into the worst possible lie you can imagine if you're not in the perfect position. Some people just can't take that, and that's why this place usually breaks players down, especially over the course of a 4-round major. Niklas throwing his 4th shot. A good approach. I got to give a shout out to Paul McBeth, who birdied this hole 3 times. That's incredible.
Prez.
Oh, wow. What a incredible birdie throw, and that would have been. Par plays like a birdie on a hole that's averaging .44 over par, though.
Also a good line.
Especially when the other guys on the card trying to chase you are all looking at taking bogey, unless Ezra can make this long putt
This putter just hasn't been as hot as in other tournaments so far.
That is a great par to take on hole 10. It serves as a birdie in this situation.
Yeah, at this point, Prez just wants pars. Pars until you get to the last few, see what happens. That's the way this course plays.
I mean, you could easily play this back 9 and not get a single birdie.
Yeah.
And it happens regularly. There are 2 holes in the back 9, 16 and 17, the 2 easiest holes in the course, that you can get some birdies. But if you don't get those 2 holes, you could easily play this back 9 with no birdie.
Oh my gosh, you feathery little bugger.
No, oh, that is confusingly good, Paul. Okay, we're going to see 2 players throw good shots, maybe, or Ricky doing the bad thing. You kick right, you take bogey. That's the next sequence of events.
He's got a shot here. Yep.
It wasn't as bad of a lie as it normally is when you kick right. So Ricky giving himself an opportunity to save the par from edge of circle. What?
That was a cut through.
Oh, boy. A rare slide out on the right side chains for Ricky. Meanwhile, Calvin, is this 5 in a row? No, it's 5 out of the last 6.
Unbelievable stretch.
Right back in it. And that is incredibly frustrating for Ricky. Going to the worst place on hole 11 and finding a way to the edge of circle, making the putt essentially. Basket says no. And with that, Andrew has 3 shots right now on Niklas. Heading to the tough par 3, hole 11. I mean, if you can do what Calvin just did with that eagle, my goodness, hats off to you. That's incredible. But most players go with the forehand here just to shape the fairway. We saw Joseph Anderson throw an absolute beauty yesterday with the gentle flip up with power. It's so hard to match those 2 things.
Gets the hyzer. Is it flipping? Catch a tree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
It's there to run it if you'd like to.
And although you know that early right is terrible, left side, if you're 5 feet into the left side, it can be just as bad.
Oh. Oh no. Didn't get through. Just a little bit long.
Yeah, incredible result. I do not know what Niklas would do if that disc suddenly went missing. Suspicious fingers.
Look at all these great drives on this hole with the backhand.
Mm-hmm. I just want to see Joseph hit this line again. Oh, he hits the back door. Does it kick or does it fight through? It kind of fights to the edge, but he does have his work cut out for him.
Now just sit. This likes to get up and do that little curl. Good
Okay.
tree.
Yep, good tree.
It's the fastest green with the tiniest slope I've ever
I know.
seen.
It doesn't make any sense. It really
I think
is.
Presnell knew.
Yeah, it's smart. Totally. No need to give that a cheeky run. I mean, if you hit this hill with any hyzer, it races the 30 feet so quick. Oh, yes.
Hello.
Ezra Robinson from deep.
I was waiting for it, and he doesn't care right now.
Speaking of running it with hyzer, I mean, yeah, exactly. At this point, he's got to send it. And right after you say we don't see him make those long putts, here he is. He heard you in the past future. And Niklas, the rare comeback putt for birdie. Chaining out left side and once again unable to apply pressure to our leader.
Good putt there from Buckets. Tricky little one back there.
And just some short cleanups here for Niklas and Andrew.
And as Andrew taps out for this, they will be now heading into Northwood's black.
Mm-hmm. Really?
The park part of the course is over with.
Yeah. A lot of these holes that we have played thus far were on the original Northwood layout. And when Northwood Black, when this course really became infamous was when they added 12. And then I think a few years later, they added a stretch of 13 and 14, and just this place became something different. The hardest part about hole 12, it really is getting on top of this hill in two. If you can get at least near the top, then you have an outside chance of throwing the hero shot and getting up here for a birdie, but it's just so rarely ever done. Really, the goal is just don't take a 7. You can even play with a 6. Ezra, that was a little tight on the inside, but doesn't get a hard kick into the woods. He's going to be fine with that.
See if Prez can manage a good tee shot here. It looks heavy on the turn to me. Oh, he barely misses those, and that's fantastic. He's just going mid-range there.
Yep. And why would you do anything else? Put it in the fairway. Do not play for the 4. Give yourself a chance to get the 5, which plays like a birdie. Niklas overturned. That will be a dicey second shot.
Oh, I like the shape of this one. I love it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Stay out of that puddle.
And because he comes up short of the puddle and he's in the grass and he's made the fairway shape, he actually is going to have a look to try to get distance on his next shot. And Ezra's going for the most aggressive play, gets through the gap, continues to turn. Now it's behind the right side stuff on that hillside, but the distance and the progression of the shot alone makes it an A+.
I don't know what he's got from there, though, honestly.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. And truthfully, he's probably in position to take a 6.
Yeah.
Even though he's thrown a great shot. That's a very smart play, very veteran savvy play for Andrew there, just to not even get close to the hill. And yes, very well done from Niklas. He's going to have a chance to actually, because he's so far from the hill, he can actually access that fairway with some speed perhaps.
This looks like a good shape, but it might be too far. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Near the top of the hill.
That's a play.
It's in play for sure. See this? Oh, wow.
Nice.
You can't do it much better than that.
Whisper to me.
Out of position off the tee to have a shot that far down the tunnel. His 4th shot going to be just 100 feet from the basket. What a play there from Niklas.
Looks.
Oh,
one more. No,
Okay.
You got to earn it around here.
Yeah, definitely will have to earn that one. So that's what you're left with. Just don't roll. Oh, boy. I mean, if you're 2 feet off on 12.
Feels like when you're leading a major, the disc golf course doesn't let you get away with mistakes. You know?
Paul, look at this.
In the circle.
Oh, my goodness. We are actually going to have a look for a birdie on 12. Incredible.
This is good if he
Wants
gets
some
a
help.
kick.
Wants some help. Gets the help.
Fantastic.
Yeah, good scramble shot.
You know what I mean, though? You have when you have the lead, the course doesn't just hand them out. It's going to absolutely magnify your mistakes. Oh, and that's
Andrew,
a good shot.
It's a good shot. This is the position where I wish he had a forehand approach shot that he could lean out to the right and throw the forehand anhyzer. Just to have a tap in for the par for Niklas. Awesome.
A plus fourth shot.
All right, so Andrew for the par 5. And
not even close.
Not enough want there. And Joseph delivers the birdie. And his only birdie in the last 9 holes is hole 12.
That's a great way to do it. You could easily take a 7. He's saving 3 shots, you know? Oh, no, and he misses it.
And right side.
Ezra does all the work.
Oh, hate to see that. That would have been, if Ezra cleans that putt up, this card would have played the hole in 20 strokes, which has maybe never been done before by a single card. And got to give a shout out real quick to Paul Macbeth and Alden Harris, who also grabbed the birdies on 12. And again, like all round, Andrew still holding onto a 2-shot lead. And Niklas is just trying his best to chip into that lead. Just give me an opportunity. Give me a birdie to your par, a par to your bogey. And Andrew's just matching him shot for shot. And is exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, nobody's like flaring out of control here.
No.
Nobody's like playing magnificent disc golf. They're playing great disc golf. It's just to what we are seeing.
Well, this guy right here was playing some great disc golf for a while, and he's had some bogey blues over the last 4 holes, taking him off the hunt a little bit, but a birdie coming here on 13. So now Ricky is 2 back at 10 under. So still in the hunt.
Let's see the wind. Too far right. He's going to need a good break on that side, and he gets one. I mean, that's better than a kick right.
It is worth noting that the crosswind on this tee shot, as Niklas is, you cannot throw it much better right now with the wind that is whipping off the left shoulder. The disc does not want to hyzer. The wind is pushing it just like it did with Joseph's drive. It's pushing it long. It's pushing it right. Niklas somehow fights it with the right stability, hits the fairway perfectly.
Prez gets it on hyzer. Oh, this is good, Jerm. This is really good.
Shot for shot, Paul.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's on top of Niklas's drive. Come on. Incredible. Now, Ezra actually has an opportunity to save the par. Are you kidding me? He rolls over both of their drives? That's insane. So he's going to have the same approach as them, but to just try to save the par. Which is always wonderful, obviously, after hitting the first tree available. So Andrew up first, slight turnover with the putter. And is it moving right enough? It's
leaks through.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You could catch one of those and easily go out of bounds.
Right here, you can see how much rain we've received overnight. The OB line is 2 or 3 feet in the water, and they actually extended the OB line overnight. Okay. No pressure there for Niklas at all. Now Andrew is going to be putting back towards the basket on the hillside. Kind of a dicey situation, perhaps.
Especially with one of his putts losing his putter.
Right.
OB right behind it.
That's a great save for Ezra.
Niklas parked. Joey trying to get up and down.
That's got the right amount of weight behind it.
Oh, yeah. Good save.
We don't have to worry about seeing wet foot part 2 here for Joseph, fortunately. Oh, big putt.
Prez.
That
He
is a
knows
huge.
it.
That's a
He
huge putt.
Love to see it.
And once they get through hole 14, where anything, and I mean anything, can happen, they will be past the toughest holes in the course aside from hole 18. Obviously, it's going to come down to hole 18, and hole 18 has been eating players' lunch all weekend. But they really just have the incredible wind and the insanely difficult dogleg left par 5 hole 14 coming right up. Once again, though, Andrew Presnell going shot for shot with Niklas. He cannot get those strokes back yet.
Did you see Matt Orm on the board there with a 7 under par?
It just defies sense. That score seems impossible to shoot on a day like this. And at one point during live, they put a 1 on hole 18, the par 5, the 1,000-foot par 5. And he jumped all the way up to 11 under for the round, and then they fixed it. But yeah, this is the hardest hole on the course now for me. I think it's harder than hole 12 for some reason. And we're catching up with Ricky, who's going for the hyzer play, and this is ill-advised, folks. There is a 40-mile-an-hour crosswind coming from the farm field to the right, and you see the spotter sprinting into action. It's something I'm sure he's been doing all day with people thinking the hyzer play is in play. It's not. And our camera operators are trying to find Ricky and figure out what's going on. This reminds me of the opening scene in Jurassic Park 1. And over the top. And this is Ricky's 6th row. And the double bogey is going to hurt.
That's going to take him all the way down to 8 under par.
5 back. Essentially, game over for Ricky.
Well, he does have the scoreable holes left. If he gets all of them, that'll put him to 12 under par. And these guys are not through this hole yet.
Niklas missing that tree puts him in the gap with a look down the fairway. Hitting that tree puts him in a spot where he's got an opportunity to advance the disc about 60 feet. That's the huge difference on this hole. And look at that. That little bit of difference that you see with Niklas and Andrew's drives is everything. Andrew can access that gap. Niklas is going to be pitching around the corner.
Oh, and this needs to get on hyzer. Oh, this is great.
Fantastic drive. He is so smooth, isn't he?
It really is. Does this have the distance?
It might have too much.
Gosh.
It might have too much, Paul. What a shot. Just trying to control a slight ante with the forehand here to stay in the fairway and get some distance. A little low, but the control was nice and he's in the fairway. That's huge.
All Presnell wants is 300 feet, however he can get it.
Yeah, 300 is almost ambitious. And that's fine.
Yep,
it's in the fairway.
Might be 300 feet.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Oh, Niklas getting highly aggressive.
That's fine.
Kind of works out for him. Usually that play does not pay dividends, but I think he's going to be okay with the result. Ezra, after the huge drive, kicks back to the fairway. How far down is that? Is he going to have a short look? to get up and down for the birdie? I think so.
Bummer.
Man, again, progression, always nice on these par fives, but off the fairway is never easy.
And he leaks that one a little bit too much. He had the route.
Guess what, though? He's going to be putting for the 4. He's got to look at birdie. You'll take that on hole 14 every single time. In C2 after 3?
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Okay. Okay. It's okay. Because again, that's right where Niklas is. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
good
obviously
point,
he'd
good
like to
point.
get closer to the pin, but he's at this point he's not losing anything to the closest player. Oh. Yep, you can see it right there. Tells you everything.
Pulls it. Does he get away with it?
Oh, absolutely
No.
not.
You can see he's dejected as well.
Look at the difference between fairway and the next thing over. It's just absurd. I mean,
And Presnell makes a huge mistake as well.
it's almost like he's doing this intentionally at this point. Like, you don't have to throw the same shot as Niklas every time, dude. Play your own game. Only kidding, of course. And Joseph will have that for the par. Everyone else is going to be struggling.
And Joseph's going to go 1 under on the 3 holes.
Ooh. Outrageous. So, Presnell unable to save the 5. This would be a huge putt for Niklas right now. Awkward lie, just unable. I mean, and with that wind, the straddle out, the low ceiling, the 50 feet, probability of making that putt was incredibly low, but he needed it. Still just searching for that glimmer of hope.
Par, well done.
Trying to break the dry spell of the 2 second place finishes he's had at major championships.
Twelve, 10, 9, 9. Everybody's still in it.
They're heading to the stretch of the course that gives you something back a little bit. Hole 15, par 4, a very gettable par 4 on this course for what we've seen for the last 2 hours of actual play. Just keep it down the middle. By all means, avoid the OB on the left side of the fairway. Find a way to beat these last trees as you're going down. If Niklas wants any chance at cutting into this lead, he's going to need a birdie, I think, all 3 of the next 3 holes.
Agreed.
And conversely, if Andrew is able to birdie 1 or 2 of the next 3, he can kind of shut it down.
Yeah, shoot the next 4. I think if someone's got to get up the rest of them to put the pressure on. That's not Andrew. That's your chance.
This is starting to fade to left, but he beats the corner and he stays in bounds. What a huge drive for Ezra. Hard to know from the tee pad perspective whether that was in bounds or not, but spotter down there gives him the green flag.
Oh, this is heavy on the Anheuser.
And that stays safe.
Huge shot right here for Prez. This had better be turning over into those woods on the right if I'm Andrew.
Once again, he just delivers another
It's turning.
smart shot. And look at the fading back at the end.
Wow, that is so good.
Clutch.
That is so aggressive, Jerm.
It doesn't seem to phase him. I mean, this guy is just plugging away. Niklas, this is a tough shot. Blind from this perspective. Has to go super Anheuser. And Paul, I love the angle if it's going to miss the trees. Oh, Paul.
Wow.
Bullseye.
What a shot.
Pressure applied. Niklas Anttila delivering. And once again, that is completely blind from his perspective. Runs around the corner to see it dance on the green and spin inside 3 feet. What a shot.
I don't know if he's going to get away with it, and he's not.
Just a bit off there for Joseph. Big shot for Andrew. Wow.
I mean, how you doing?
Again, in the bullseye. It's just the guy cannot do anything different than what Niklas does. It's just shot for shot for shot for shot. And that has got to be kind of frustrating if you're Mr. Anttila. Just cannot find that stroke.
But to that point, Niklas has had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Andrew has not played perfect, but he's done exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a loose throw from Joseph. Actually, fortunate tree for him to stay close.
Ooh. Trying to stay in it, trying to make that.
I mean, at this point, Ezra needed to make that putt and then get an ace on the next 2 holes or something.
Well, the next hole definitely doesn't have a lot of danger, but 17 without a doubt has danger.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
18 as well.
To get the strokes back, though, he has to do something extraordinary, not just good. It has to be beyond good, especially with this guy, our leader, tapping a birdie and getting to 13. Because now that difference is 4 shots. But only 2 shots in front of Niklas. Ricky, he's at 10. Who knows? Perhaps with a birdie on 17 and 18. Maybe 12 under could do it. But we haven't really seen Andrew slip up in a while. The bogey on 14 didn't really cost him anything.
Huge shot here for Niklas. Keep applying pressure.
Just go in the hole.
Oh, go in.
Oh, just right side, but chain height.
How good
what
is
a
that,
shot. It's so good. Wow. I mean, if he releases that thing a nanosecond earlier, this thing's finding chains. Perfect height. And I'm sure he's thinking, is this the only way that I could get a stroke? Is I would just throw it in? And then Andrew just throws it in. They both ace. Niklas close. This is a big tee shot for Andrew right now.
Stay on hyzer.
Oh, it's going to be right side. It's going to hit those logs and
See where
not
the air
quite
reaction
sure where that landed, but he's going to be
takes
putting.
him. Joseph with the hyzer flip. This needs to get lucky through there. Not going to do it.
And that's actually not the worst case scenario. The creek that has been marked as a mandatory relief area is now a raging river, and you will lose your disc if you go in there.
Look at this one. Oh, right over the top. These guys are just...
Nice shot from Ezra. And That's what he'd have to do. He'd have to ace this one and maybe even 17. Okay, Ezra makes the putt, but he's just barely outside the circle, so that gives us an indication of how close Andrew is. And look at him. He's surveying the green and just trying to see how close he is. Obstructed putt. Whoa, Paul.
Anheuser around the tree.
What a clutch putt. I am curious. He looked like he was so desperately trying to maintain his balance.
Like he was close to circle's edge.
And that was cool, calm, and collected right there.
But nobody calls it on his card, so you got to just assume that he's good to go.
Yeah, I mean...
Because if I'm Niklas, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're finding out if he's outside the circle, and
Absolutely.
then if he is not, then that's a foot fault.
Yeah, so I think obviously he had to have been
Regardless,
outside the circle.
regardless of whatever, that putt was nasty. That was a
Without a
nasty
doubt.
little man right there with that putt. Huge moment. Big putt, and now the opportunities are getting smaller and smaller. There is opportunity to throw an errant tee shot and find early out of bounds. We've seen double bogeys on 17. It is the easiest scored hole on the course. Now we're going to check in here with Evan Smith. Going forehand flex and 1, 2, 3, bingo.
What a
Hole in
shot.
one. Huge shot. And Haiti Lina also had a hole in one in the FPO division on hole 11. So 2 players on Team Clash getting aces on the final round at a major. Pretty cool stuff there for Evan Smith out of Raleigh, North Carolina. This has got to be in the circle. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. So now this has to be in bounds for Andrew. Yep. It doesn't matter where it goes at this point.
What a drive. What an absolute
huge moment for him.
huge drive right down the middle. Never had a chance to hit anything.
Awesome. Stepping up to the moment. Andrew knows he can taste the win at this point. Ezra, oh boy. If that finds that creek, I'm telling you guys, it is ripping water right now. It is flowing so fast. Hopefully it did not find the water, and hopefully he's able to get his disc back. Joseph going the opposite direction. Unfortunately, that is the out of bounds that you are concerned with.
Trying to get it to flex. Oh, and it was looking good too. That's a huge moment for Prez.
Oh my goodness, is it ever?
He's going to have 4 shots, I believe.
Wow, just like
If
that.
he can just make what seems to be a tap-in.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the perspective where the camera is, but I think he's on. And he's on the other side of the red mandatory relief mark, so he's going to be able to take it from up there.
Closer. He gets a meter closer to the pin.
Oh, you do get a meter off of
Yes.
that. Okay.
On that particular one, you get a meter closer, so he's essentially parked.
And look where Ezra ended up. That's incredible placement. Okay. So good for him. Back-to-back birdies. That gets him to 11 under. And what a cushion this would be going into the final hole. The man is connected. He is one with the course. He is at 15 under. And is this not the number that we prophesized would perhaps take this thing down before we even started the tournament. It was on the low end. We said somewhere between 15 to 20.
Yep.
But with the conditions that we've been facing this week, with the incredible wind and rain and the delays and the early tee times and all the things, 15 under
I don't think
seems pretty miraculous.
people realize how hard this place is.
I saw in a
Like-
comment, somebody said that we were downplaying. Oh, that we were up playing how difficult it is, that we were over dramatizing it.
Oh, no.
It is, I said the opposite. I said, I think that we've been downplaying it.
Absolutely. These guys are downplaying it with their scores. Literally.
You think that you've got a game plan, but like Mike Tyson famously said, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And that is what Northwood does to you over and over and over again. As we fly over the last hole of the tournament, a major champion will be crowned for the first time ever, as long as Andrew Presnell can keep the disc in the fairway just a few times. With 4-shot lead going into the final hole, you got to wonder what he's feeling right now.
Feeling like you have to take your most overstable disc and put it on hyzer and throw it hard.
Just a clutch going birdie, birdie, birdie on 15, 16, 17. And this one's...
It's a little right.
It's a little right, and it's past that OB area. I don't really know what that stake's doing there. It doesn't... That was an interesting play there for Ezra. Tied for second right now with Niklas. Seems like a strange play to go for the straight route there when the hyzer play just gets you in such a predictable place right there. Ezra's going to be scrambling. Now I'll go back to what I said on the front nine. One stroke can be the difference of $2,000 to $3,000 at a major championship when you're talking about second, third, and fourth place.
This needs to skip. Doesn't get a very good skip. That's going to be a tough spot to be.
It looks like Niklas is the only person in position for the birdie. And Ezra, this was yanked way wide right. I think bogey best case scenario, double bogey has been brought into play for Ezra.
Yes. And this needs to sit down. Oh, well, what a wonderful
pleasant
thing to have happen.
That is the good side of Northwood. Sometimes it just slaps you instead of punches you in the face. Sometimes it just flicks your knuckles.
Smartest shot he's ever thrown.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And that allows him to power up through the next shot and really get the distance that he's looking for. Because if this had height, he'd have liked it a lot more.
Yes.
It's going to be a very difficult up and down, but I don't think he necessarily needs the up and down with Ezra right now throwing his third shot from essentially where drives are landing.
Oh, and too far.
Oh, you hate to see a player make a mess of the final hole. And that's how that's how you beat this course. If you can throw that angle, you're going to do well here.
Yeah. I remember a few years back, Drew played this course, Gibson, with just a buzz. And he was on the lead card the whole time.
Sounds brilliant.
Right?
If you're throwing it well.
Yeah.
And if he's on lead card, it means he was throwing it well. So into the woods one more time for Ezra.
Oh, this is leaking. This is out of bounds.
Oh.
Doesn't have to do much here.
Oh.
No.
Oh, boy.
Turfed it.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. Thank you.
Why is he going over this way? Don't go over that way. Don't go over that way.
Paul, he's a bad man. Oh, he is a bad man.
What a shot.
Put some respect on that name.
Why is he going over that way?
Results, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Major
Hey,
shot.
that's amazing, but you have a 4-stroke lead on a major championship. You do not go over the out of bounds. I'm sorry.
You know.
Or do you?
Dude, how many majors have you won, dude?
None.
Bro just threw a sick one. Yeah, that was ill-advised.
But I promise that if I have a 4-stroke lead, I'm going to win
if
from
I
that
was
spot.
his caddy, I'd be just punching him right in the head.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
His caddy probably was like, I'll give you $5 if you take it out over the
It's his
counter.
brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Okay, big shot there for Ezra. That will be to save the 6. Meanwhile, Niklas, who had the par in the bag, turfed his 3rd shot, and his 4th shot's now at the edge of the circle. And a good approach there for Joseph. So this is huge. This would be for outright 2nd place if he can nail it. Oh, wow. And look at that. A 3rd, 2nd place finish at a major championship for Niklas. Yeah, it doesn't look very happy, but I can tell you this man is going to take one of these down sooner or later.
I believe you. And he'll be happy about it in 3-4 months. He'll look back and be like, 2nd place was really good.
No,
right now.
No question. Yeah, it stings.
Yep. Joey.
That's going to cost him over $1,000, Paul. Oh, that's like a $1,200 spit out.
That's brutal.
But that doesn't matter right now. The story is this man, Andrew Presnell, has done it.
Unbelievable.
Nothing to be salty
There's
about.
Big Brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell winner, Andrew Presnell.
I mean, this is one of the best tournaments in the sport to win, and having a major title is incredible. Like a wooded course where I can throw my mids. I'm really comfortable throwing mid-ranges. The putting was working mostly well for the week, except for the one I airballed in the creek. Being from the Midwest and playing in the wind definitely helped a little bit too. All my friends and family, Ozark Flying Disc Club, anybody who sent me a message the last 24 hours, I've probably gotten like 500 messages, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot more. I'll try to get back to everybody. Thanks everybody.
You love when a player is able to harness their game and it doesn't look like anyone else. We see Matty O. No one looks like Matty O when he plays. And Andrew Presnell, he has a game that is different than anyone else's. And he makes it work. And he found the right place, the right week to just really connect with something special out here in these woods here in Morton, Illinois. And he is now a major champion, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, he got one for the grinders. I was happy to see it.
for
Somebody
sure.
who, you know, he doesn't take weekends off. He plays as much as he can. He averages like something like 14 wins a year because he goes back to his hometown and he just goes around and he plays C tiers, B tiers, and he loves it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a tournament between this and next week's DDO. Like, I won't be surprised if he does that. Maybe take the week off and really let it soak in, Andrew. You are a major champion. Incredible.
But it just shows you that winning tournaments can help you at that level. And he said it.
Sure.
He said it earlier
Yeah.
in that interview. I don't think we got it on this coverage, but he said, you know, me playing a lot of tournaments and learning how to win helped me do this.
For sure. He's won a bunch of them, and now he's won at the biggest possible stage, and he will be forever known as a major champion. Incredible stuff for Andrew. And also from everyone in our league card. I mean, it's been an incredibly grueling, long week. And hats off to the entire Jomez team. Not only were they putting up with these awkward hours, they had to do FPO coverage, MPO coverage, and so they really worked hard this week. So show some love for the Jomez team behind the other side of the camera. They kicked butt this week. We're going to see you guys next week in Emporia, Kansas for the Dynamic Discs Open. Thank you to the Founders Club. We appreciate you. See you next time.